some might even say performing far beyond our ability, because there's a lot of people saying that West squad that we have isn't good enough to be playing at this high end level. And to them I say, hi guys, welcome back to 100% Mark. So hope you all stayed safe and well out there. So we head into the first of 3 remaining games in this Premier League season. This is going to be absolutely amazing, as Newcastle have every chance of making Champions League football. All we need to do is get at least 2 wins out of the games remaining that we have left. Of course, we've got the game against Brighton coming up, which is the preview that we are doing today. Then after that, we do have the game, of course, against Leicester. Then we'll have the game against Chelsea, the final game of the season against Chelsea. Hopefully, we will already have European football secured for next season, of course, before that game. Obviously, we've already got European football secured because we can now no longer finish any lower than Europa League spots. So we know we're going to be in Europe next season, but is it going to be the Europa League or is it going to be the Champions League? Fingers crossed and everything crossed that it is the Champions League. We fully deserve it. We've been here all season long, performing at the best of our ability, and some might even say performing far beyond our ability, because there's a lot of people saying that West squad that we have isn't good enough to be playing at this high end level. And to them I say a big FU. We have been absolutely fantastic this season and we deserve to be where we are in the league, and nobody is going to be taking that away from us, because Eddie Howe has said after that game and after the game against Arsenal, of course, that we will be fighting with everything we have to get that European Champions League football next season at St James's Park. And rightly so, because we fully deserve it for the way we've been playing this season. There's only been 3 teams, and I know I keep saying it a lot, but there's only been 3 teams this season that have been absolutely fantastic. One of them's Man City, one of them's Arsenal. Of course, Arsenal's dropped off a little bit of late since they've played us, and the other one is ourselves, Newcastle United. We have been absolutely amazing this season. We deserve to get that Champions League football, and I know we will get that Champions League football. But enough about that, enough of the rant. Let's get into talking about this game against Brighton, because of course Brighton are coming into this one on the back of winning against Arsenal in their game. And I've got to say, I watched that game and Arsenal looked absolutely lackluster. They just didn't look like the team that they did against us. They weren't diving on the floor as much as they were against us, I will say that. And I don't know what went on in that game, but Arsenal completely bottled it. They arsed it up, and they will not be getting the Premier League title this season. I did say it was Manchester City's to lose, and I was right in saying that, and I've been thinking that for quite a while now as well, since Arsenal started dropping off, that they would not win that Premier League title. But it's Man City's Premier League title. The title race is over, but the European race is still going on. It's getting even hotter the closer we get to the end of the season. And the relegation race is pretty much nigh on sewn up as well. So all that is left is to determine who will be in the Champions League spots for next season. And hopefully, come the final whistle on this game on Thursday night, we will know if we will be playing Champions League football or be within a further step closer to playing Champions League football, if we can get the win on Thursday night against Brighton at St James's Park. It's going to be a 7:30 kickoff for this game. It's live on Sky Sports. It's a sellout game as well. So it's going to be an absolutely massive atmosphere at St James's Park. This is it. This is what we've all been waiting for. Newcastle to play in Champions League football once again for the first time in 2 decades. We haven't played in Champions League football since the 2002-2003 season. Of course, when Bobby Robson was the manager at Newcastle United, Sir Bobby led Newcastle out in the European nights, and I was there in St James's Park watching Newcastle play against the likes of Juventus, and what an atmosphere it was. What a absolutely fantastic atmosphere it was in St James's Park, and I can't wait for these nights to be back in Newcastle United. But this game on Thursday, it's going to be a tough game. I'm not going to lie, it is going to be a tough game, but I do believe we have the quality there to see out this game and see out the win against Brighton. I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to come into this and say we are going to absolutely hammer Brighton. That is not what I'm going to do. I'm going to come into this preview and I am saying that it will be a tough game. Roberto De Zerbi has done a fantastic job since coming in there down at Brighton, and he has done a fantastic job with that team. The way he has just adapted them players to his philosophy at that team as well has just been amazing, and they have been fantastic this season under De Zerbi, and rightly so, you know. So they have got a chance of getting in Europe as well. They can get, I think it's 70 points they can get maximum, so they've still got a chance of making it into the Champions League football, but they would have to hope that Man United slip off a bit more and Liverpool slip off a bit more as well. But there is still a chance for Brighton again in that Champions League football. But of course, we are playing them on Thursday. We want this win, of course, more than Brighton, because we deserve this win for the way we've been playing this season. But at the end of the day, it is football. Anything can happen. But I am saying Newcastle are going to come away from this game with the maximum points. Of course, we have been unbeaten in our last 3 Premier League matches against Brighton and have only taken a maximum points off of them in the top flight just once in 11 meetings to date. So that is why I'm saying it's going to be a tough one. But of course, it's 2 fantastic managers, Eddie Howe versus De Zerbi. And I do believe Eddie Howe will have the quality to come out on top in this game and see us out to win this game and get the maximum points. Of course, in our last 5 home games, we have won 4 out of our last 5 home games. When you look at Brighton's form in their last 5 away games, they have only won 3 out of their last 5 away games this season. So looking at that, you know, that bodes very well for us going into this game. But the one factor that I am looking very closely at for this one is, of course, the officials. The officials are somebody that we've always got to keep an eye on. And of course, once again, we have to keep an eye on them in this game, because the officials for this game are very heavily Scouse-driven officials. Rob Jones' 3rd appearance of this season for the Northwest Whistler, following on from the home victories, the 1-0 home victories over Chelsea and Fulham. And of course, on VAR is again another Scouser, but an Aussie Scouser in Jared Gillette, who will be on VAR, and the linesman as well, Ian Husson, will also be involved in this game as well, and he also comes from Liverpool. So very Scouse driven officiating team for this game, which I find very, very suspicious, considering that Liverpool are still in there trying to fight for European places as well. So, you know, I'm not surprised, to be honest, but it's just really annoying that you see such a very heavily driven Scouse officiating team. And we've been seeing a lot of Manchester and Scouse officiating teams over the last few games as well, which isn't great. You know, obviously there's something rotten going on there, but, you know, when is it never? at the end of the day when it involves Newcastle United or any team, to be honest, going up against that lot. But looking at the stats, we are bidding to make it our 11th home Premier League victory this season, which would, of course, make it our biggest top flight return since reaching that total in the 11-12 season. Our best ever Premier League home campaign remains to be the 95-96 season, where, of course, we went on to win 17 games at St James's Park, drawing one and losing one. So that remains to be our best home game campaign at the Premier League. And if we win this game on Thursday against Brighton, we will equal our biggest top flight return since the 11-12 campaign, of course, which seen we get into Europe by coming 5th in the league under Alan Pardew. So let us know your thoughts anyway down in the comments below. Going into this game, I'm going to say that Newcastle are going to come away with a win. Like I say, I believe we've got the quality there to come away with it. The news as well for players going into this one, it still looks like Sean Longstaff will not be available for this game with a foot injury. And looking at the Brighton side of things, they're going to be without the likes of Adam Lallana. They're going to be without Tariq Lamptey as well. Solly March. Adam Webster is also going to be missing from this game, as well as Veltman, who will be questionable for this game with a muscle injury. So that is your news going into the game for injury news heading into this game against Brighton. Let us know down in the comments below. Any Brighton fans that are watching, let us know your thoughts going into this game. Do you think you have it in the tank to come away from St James's Park with a result, be it a draw or a win? Or do you think it is going to be a defeat? Any Newcastle fans, of course, watching, let us know your score predictions as well. I want to hear, what all my fellow Newcastle United fans are thinking going into this game. This is it. This is the business end now. We need to be putting in the results. We need to be getting these results, because this is now the time where we need to be doing it, to be getting that Champions League football that, like I said at the beginning of the video, we so rightfully deserve because of how we have been playing this season. But if it does happen to go the opposite way, then it's still been a fantastic season, but we deserve to get that Champions League football because of how we have been playing this season. Let us know your thoughts anyway down in the comments below. As always, remember, like, share, subscribe to 100% Mags. We're on the road to 2k subscribers, so if we can get there, that would be absolutely fantastic. And until next time, I'll see you all in the next one, and how are the lads?